What's happening, everybody? Welcome to the FN Studios. I'm John Ramtine alongside Robin Black. Pound for pound great John Jones was on the Joe Rogan Experience where he talked about, I guess, his train wreck of a life, so to speak. He's talking about maybe moving up and fighting at the heavyweight limit. And also, you look back at some of the things he talked about in his career, that he would get blackout wasted the week before his championship tilt just to give himself kind of an out.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's something we do a podcast here, The Mentality of Combat Sports with David Mullins, and I delve into sports psychology related stuff, and that's called self-handicapping. It's something that people will do to create a scenario in which if they succeed, they've even been better than they would have been.
Right.
Oh man, you wouldn't even believe how wasted I was, and I still kicked that guy's ass. And if they lose, they're like, that wasn't the real me. It's called self-handicapping. It's something many of us do in different areas of our life. Very interesting to see Jones talk about it, because by thinking about it and sort of stepping outside of yourself and looking as if you're the monkey in the cage and you're looking at you, making notes, that helps you make changes in your life. So that's a good start for him.
And you would imagine, that based on what everybody feels about John Jones, or the majority of mixed martial arts supporters that see some of the things that John Jones has been involved in, they're like, get your act together, John Jones. We want to see a healthier, a better, a more mentally focused John Jones, not a reckless John Jones. Is he playing the part? He understands the cameras are on. You were talking about Tapia, how you're watching the documentary,
awesome.
And it's like, I got off the cocaine, but I didn't really get off the cocaine.
Yeah.
Just like Mike Tyson. For years, we thought Mike Tyson was clean, and then he came clean to Fight Network as well.
Yeah, it's true. Tapia was an amazing documentary. It's an HBO documentary. Those guys know how to make television, eh? Like, wow. It's very, very good. But yeah, they go through the whole thing. It's like, he cleaned himself up, and they show him at his peaks, and then they kind of reveal, but he never really got off the blow in between fights. And, it's John's life. That's the thing, is often whether we're looking at, Bieber or John Jones or Kanye or whoever, we have this weird feeling that they owe us something and we have some ownership over them because they're incredibly talented. Yeah, man, I'd love to see the best John Jones possible. I admire what that guy can do. It's beautiful to see. But it's his life. He can do whatever he wants. And he doesn't owe anything to any of us. But from the standpoint of a fan of martial arts, man, you hope to see that guy at his very best.
And I think that's what the viewers feel. It's like, he doesn't owe anybody anything, but a lot of the supporters of John Jones, we just want to see him healthy because we've invested so much time. We've always rooted for John Jones, or we rooted against John Jones, or whatever the case may be. People want to see him compete because, despite all of the outside of the UFC antics, people still recognize that John Jones is a ridiculous talent. And when he's on it, if these are the things that he's been able to manage, that getting blackout drunk the week before his fight with Daniel Cormier, where Alexander Gustafsson or Rampage or any of the former champions that he's faced during his time as the top guy at 205 pounds, imagine what a healthy, super focused, motivated John Jones that has got a handle on his demons, what he would be capable of at 205 pounds or at the heavyweight limit.
Yeah, again though, you write your own life. You write it the way you want it, and you get what you seek. So you hope that's what he wants. Joe has the ability to pull out a lot of great conversations.
Yeah.
Like you're talking about talent. Rogan's ability to do that podcast in and of itself is a special talent. I've been on it. It's pretty cool. Joe's amazing. He's super cool. But that environment, there's something comforting in there where you want to tell the whole story. And even with Joe and that environment, I still got a weird feeling that John wasn't telling us the whole story.
What's interesting about it is I was watching the Joe Rogan Experience with Tim Kennedy yesterday.
Your favorite fighter.
I think it was a past episode, and as you pointed out, Joe is able to pull out some of the things that we don't often see when they're being interviewed after a fight or the lead up to a fight, trying to create hype, trying to create interest. And I think sometimes we misjudge a lot of characters. And Tim Kennedy, although I still think he likes to pump up his own tires, I think I'm more of a fan now after seeing him in that real environment.
Yeah, there's something about that podcast. That's why people watch it so deeply, is because you feel so connected to Joe immediately, and he's able to and people go into conversations of things they've never even had and never told anybody. It is very, very
And he
cool.
doesn't let you off the hook as well.
No,
if you make a statement, he's going to want you to elaborate. It's like, wait a second here. You just said this. What do you mean? Because a lot of people are going to flame you for that.
It's true. Speaking of blackout drunk, tonight is the Fight Network Christmas party.
John Jones is not invited.
No, he's not. We got to keep him. Also, next weekend is UFC 206, and Rogan is here doing a comedy gig on the Friday night, and our boy Russell Peters is the host.
Yeah.
That's going to be real cool.
Crazy. Jon Jones, we really hope that they say that he's going to be coming back to mixed martial arts competition in July. Let's just hope he gets everything in order, gets his act together, and faces off with some of the best fighters at 205 pounds. I know people want to see the rematch between him and Cormier, a matchup with him and Anthony Rumble Johnson, and the matchup with Alexander Gustafsson. But if he happens to go up to heavyweight, I'm sure people will be watching that too.